Hello and welcome. This is my take. Today I'm going to talk to you about the budget estimates that were presented before Parliament yesterday and the controversial Finance Bill 2024. But before that, I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Philip Etale. Like it, press that like button and share it widely. Karibu. Looking down the valley, I see houses where hundreds of thousands of people live. On my left and to my right, I'm standing right in the middle. And I know exactly what Kenyans are going through now. From the high cost of living to the skyrocketing prices of commodities, it is clear that Kenyans cannot afford even 2 meals a day. Majority of Kenyans live below the dollar a day. They struggle. They live from hand to mouth. From where I'm standing, in a few minutes from now, you'll see people walking down this road to their homes or to where they call home, from industrial area and any other place they work. It's not that they cannot use vehicles to go home, but they cannot afford fare to and from their places of work. It is hard. Life is difficult. There's a song by Tupac Shakur, just as the ways, things should never be the same. Just as the ways, oh yes. But as people listen to such kind of songs, things continue being the same in this country called Kenya. Life continues to be hard. Many people continue to live below the dollar a day, living on 1 meal a day. That's not the Kenya that our forefathers wanted. It's a Kenya that a few individuals have wanted it to be. But what can be done? Absolutely nothing. But Kenyans have the right to make the right decisions. Anyway, yesterday, Treasury CS Professor Njuguna Ndung'u presented budget estimates before Parliament. He read out the voluminous document detailing budget estimates for the financial year 2024-2025. Budget estimates are just estimates for both recurrent and development expenditure. But now, what needs to be done is to look at the finance bill. The finance bill is the avenue that allows the government to look for this money that is contained in the budget estimates. The budget is just a budget outlining what the government is planning to do for the financial year, the fiscal year 2024-2025. This is what we are going to do. This is a recurrent expenditure. This is a money set for development expenditure. But now, how are you going to source this money to fund the budget? And that's where the finance bill comes in. And looking at the finance bill 2023, it caused controversy. It made Kenyans feel like they are being oppressed more and more, even after the Kenya Kwanza administration came to power on the promise that they are going to reduce the cost of living and make Kenyans have a bearable livelihood. But again, after the finance Bill 2023, 2024. Now we have the Finance Bill 2024, the most controversial one. It has things that even those in government and sitting in those high places cannot even explain to the masses. Imagine the CS for Health was unable to explain how they are going to fund the Social Health Insurance Fund. Completely unable to do that. The CS for Sports was also unable to explain the scandal in the Talanta Hela thing. The communication team at State House was also unable to explain to Kenyans how 200 million shillings was spent on the president's private jet to the US. Everything in this country remains unexplained. Nobody can explain what is being planned, what is being proposed, and how they are going to execute those proposals. Now look at the finance bill. We have the controversial motor vehicle tax. I watched a senior KRA official, in fact the deputy director of the Kenya Revenue Authority, fumbling live on television when he was asked how this motor vehicle tax is going to be financed. He couldn't explain it. He fumbled and left it at that. Now, last night, the Principal Secretary for National Treasury, Dr. Chris Kiptoo, a highly educated fella in this country, also found it difficult to elucidate on this motor vehicle tax. It took him 10 minutes to explain something that can be explained in 30 seconds. Which means this is a proposal that has been imposed on these people and they cannot do it. They cannot explain it. Even these young men passing here on motorbike, they are not even able to understand why so many proposals in the finance bill are being proposed and yet it's them who are supposed to finance it from their pockets. I was astonished watching the PS for National Treasury, a man I respect a lot, Dr. Chris Kiptoo, failing to explain about this motor vehicle tax proposal. And that one reminds me of this song by Coolio, The Gangster Paradise. Power and the money, money and the power, minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them are looking at the kitchen, but no one knows what is cooking in the kitchen. You could be sitting somewhere and a proposal is made to your office, but you cannot be able to explain that proposal. Just have a watch at this video, courtesy of Citizen Television, and look at how the Principal Secretary, Dr. Chris Kiptoo, fumbled on this very simple question. How is this tax going to be executed? Motor vehicle tax. Is it tax on tax, or what is it about? Just have a watch.
A charge of 2.5% every year, which is tax on tax, isn't it? I probably it would have been good if you concentrated in my discussion with you today on the appropriation bill.
No, we'll
because
get there.
we are here today.
We'll get there shortly. I just want to get this out of the way.
Because the issue of motor vehicle is being taken in a it is being twisted in a way that.
Principal Secretary,
yes.
I am so happy because you're in studio, because you've been told that it is the National Treasury who is the originator, and you're here. Just help us to understand. That's all we need.
No, this is supposed to be a property. It's like a charge. It's like a tax on your asset.
Yep.
Yes. So it's supposed
tax
to work.
on asset.
Yes.
So how do you determine the value of the motor vehicle?
But it's based on the valuation that comes. When you buy a vehicle, there's always the year manufacturer, the make, and you're able to determine that before you even get an insurance, there has to be a valuation.
So the insurer values your car based on everything, including a value of the car which includes taxes, the import duty itself. No, you want to tax that car inclusive of the import duty.
I think every transaction, there are many different types of taxes. You can have an income tax, and that could be you have a property income from property.
Yep.
Or you can also tax from income. And you can have other indirect taxes.
Yep.
So this is one form of taxing. And we are saying anyone who has a vehicle.
Yep.
It used to be even previously there were licenses for every vehicle that used to go on the road.
It was called road license.
Road license. So it is similar to that.
And now today there's road maintenance levy in a litre of petrol.
Yeah, and it could, by the way,
18 shillings.
By the way, we have had those options where sometimes instead even of having a motor vehicle circulation, you could as well change and do a road maintenance levy. But we felt that we didn't need to do that because it would affect also many other people who necessarily do not even have vehicles. I mean, because anyone who pays for petroleum would mean that you have also to include the levy, and that really we didn't want to go through that.
So what are you trying to say as a country? We are on our own, and even as Kenyans rant out there, send text messages to members of parliament urging them to reject the finance bill, it's not because they want it, but it's because the government does not want to listen to them. The government has refused to listen to them. It is not a listening government. Had they wanted to listen to government, to the people and what the people had to say, then all these things will not be happening today. There will be this hashtag called Reject Finance Bill 2024 running all over social media. It is portraying this country as a country that has leaders who are intolerant, leaders who don't listen to the plight of the people, leaders who have failed the test of time. They want to do what their hearts tell them to do, but not what is the feeling of the people they are ruling or governing. My take is the finance bill is draconian. It may have good proposals. Perhaps 80% is good, but that 20% that is bad, please look at that carefully. Look at it. Look into that before it goes into parliament. Because I know the parliament that we have, with Kenya Kwanza claiming that they have the majority, super majority, the finance bill will pass as it is. I've been looking at comments by members of parliament from Kenya Kwanza. One of them said this, and I quote, "I was elected by the people, but I cannot renege against the president and my hero and mentor, Mheshimiwa Kimani Ichung'wah." That was the MP for Kiambaa, Kawanjiko. That was shallow of him. Another one said, when someone rang him, a random caller, to reject the finance bill, and he told that person, "Simujinyonge bas." What kind of an answer is that? That tells you the bill is going to pass and the wishes of Kenyans are going to be ignored. That is my take.